What's up guys, Chasing Lamey here for episode number 16, 17, I forget where we're at now. I think we're at 17 or 16, we're somewhere around there, of the Williams Grove to Glory series on the channel, which has gone very well so far. We're currently sitting 7th in the Drivers' Championship with Fernando Alonso, 13th with Kubica, 14th with George Russell, and more importantly 4th in the Constructors' Championship with Red Bull very much in our sights. It's a two-horse race for the Constructors' Championship, but third is very much within our grasp. Last time out, in case you missed it, Fernando Alonso won the Singapore Grand Prix. Robert Kubica came in third. He's not normally in the seat, but he started paying us for it, and we need the money because we are hemorrhaging cash right now. But yeah, otherwise things have gone fairly well for us. We started doing the in-between bits in the last episodes. It's made the episodes a tiny bit longer, but I'm sure we'll make use of that somehow. Do a little interview with Natalie Pinkham because we like Natalie Pinkham. She's a good person. Claimed our brakes are holding the team back. We're going to hold our hands up. We're improving them though. It's killed our marketability. We just want to race, so we'll get over it. And we made one pit stop in the last Grand Prix, which worked out just fine. Let's have a look, see if there's any pit crew here we want. We've not been getting the best of pit crew, although, in fact, none of those guys actually improve our pit crew. Our pit crew is so good that it doesn't actually have much room for improvement. It'd have to be a 5-star recruit to make it better. At Black Sea Grand Prix, we're looking forward to a changeable race by the looks of things. It's saying that it's going to be sort of sunny, rainy all weekend, which we've had for the last couple of races, and actually has turned out okay for us. As these things go, though, we've done the car repair. Fernando Alonso showed up at a local fun run, and that's fixed our marketability, I believe. Is that done enough to fix our marketability? More or less. That should be fun. We don't need to worry about that for a little while anyway, because we've got 6 more races before we can actually do anything with our sponsors. So, you know, let's not panic too much. There's a lot of scouting reports come in. Our reliability work is complete apparently, which is going to be very helpful because we were working on the new parts that have come in. That was the 2 gearboxes I believe we worked on that just came in. So I guess we should do some more work elsewhere. Let's get the wings up to spec. Let's get these up to spec. We're just going to get everything we're currently using as reliable as we can before the next race. As we go along, and that should see us through. They're all more than good enough to be used anyway. But the parts we have on the car as well, we need to improve, because if you look at where we're standing, we currently have the 9th best car overall. But there are changes we can make to improve things. We have got another gearbox coming in. Scouting reports done on Roberto Meri, who would probably not make it. Daniel Abt, probably not going to make it. TVPs, one of our directors like to film piece in our factory, being in position, will make compensatory payment. To be fair, we need the money, so I'm going to take it. It should work out fine. And yeah, we're currently sitting 4th in the Teams Championship. We'll just get rid of that notification because we already know what the report said. Yeah, as soon as we get this new part in, which should be very soon, it can't be far away surely. 3 days, 50 hours, it's actually going to come after the race, which is terribly frustrating, but we'll keep things improving, which should be okay. Another scout report, Sam Bird will be below average, doesn't have a huge amount of potential, that's okay. Our brakes facility is a staggeringly good place to work. Good, I'm pleased. Sebastian Saavedra will be low quality, won't be improving, that's also good to know. And Oliver Rowland, I think we just got rid of, so let's not panic too much about him. Yeah, it's looking okay. It's looking okay for this race. Black Sea could be tricky for us. Mick Schumacher's got himself in a 2nd place position. Jordan King got himself a win. That's actually pretty good all round for that championship. That championship is actually quite close. I guess ART are coming up, which also is worth us paying attention to. Yeah, we should be okay. We're looking at it's an acceleration, high speed corners, top speed. Well, high speed corners is our best part really. Top speed we're I think bottom actually, which could be a problem. We're bottom on acceleration too. So this is going to be an interesting thing. We're going to have to hope we can make the best of the weather. That is very much the plan. Our performance work is stop. Performance work is done. I don't know why that didn't stop straight away. Apparently me yelling at it didn't do anything to make that better. We have the new suspension, the new gearbox in, but it's obviously not going to be ready to go on the car right away. But what we can do is we can probably kill off some of these, and we can probably get that ready in time for the next Grand Prix, which should be absolutely fine. I'm guessing the next Grand Prix, Japan, we might just have it ready. In fact, I can probably keep. I don't know why I took all those parts off that I was working on upgrading. Let's keep the engine upgrades going. Let's get those two upgraded, because we'll probably bin that gearbox off, and these two parts that are risky parts can go on there as well, and we'll work on the reliability of that gearbox first, and then we can go back to working on the performance of everything, because that will be the one for us. I think just about performance work is complete, which is good. Gearbox build is finished. We do have a little bit of cash to play with, quite a lot of cash to play with actually now, so we can build something. In fact, we need to build a new engine, so we're going to build a new engine, because why the devil would we not, especially if we can get that in for the next race, which you'd think we would be able to. So what do we want to go for? We want to go for probably top speed and reliability plus, that would work. A top speed of 40 to max, 879, that works out pretty well. And then adds 10 days. That's a long wait for an engine, but if it's why is it requires test track at level 1? Okay, that's probably not worth it. Probably not worth it. What else can I do here? Reliability in red zone's not going to help much, because that's just going to. I mean, it means that we're ready to get on the car straight away, but it's not going to. It's not ideal for us. We can. We take a day off the build time. In fact, do you know what? Let's see if we can improve fuel efficiency, because that's actually going to help us immensely. And that's going to be an 879 engine, which should make it the best engine we have, surely. Let's have a look at the improved parts screen. We've already got a couple of 879s. It should be fine. An extra one can't hurt, especially if it's going to tip us over that good point. And that tells me actually what we need to do is use some of the spare cash we've got, because there's what? How many races left? 6 races left, so that's maths in my head. 3 million. We've got about 17 million to spend, which tells me that, in fact, we're already building the test track. The test track is nearly there, which helps. Test track is 6 weeks away. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. We haven't got enough to upgrade the factory. All of our things, that just requires a level 4 factory, a level 4 design centre, which we're nowhere near being able to build to get the theme park. So actually, we're just sitting pretty able to keep building parts, which works out fine for us. We'll just get rid of that. We'll move forward to the race. We shall see what we can achieve with this one. I'm guessing big things. Big things is the plan. Tyre wear, very high. Yeah. I'm not unhappy with that, actually. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll put an extra set of mediums on, so I've got something to warm up on. That's absurd. That's absurd. Entirely absurd. In fact, let's just go 5, 5, and 5 again. I feel like I always go 5, 5, and 5. We're going 5, 5, and 5 again. And we'll hope what we can do is get the best out of the parts we have. So I'm going to do the usual thing where I go into the race, and then well, I'll go through qualifying and practice off camera, and then we'll go into the race and we'll see how we can do. Back in a tick. Okay, so I've gone for a very ambitious strategy for this race, like a very ambitious one. So it looks like it's going to stay dry for the whole thing. There might be a little rain towards the end, which looks like it's coming in about lap 36. So just had a quick look at the driver's tyre wear, and it looks like Kubica can give us 25-ish on a set of hards, which, you know, means I can switch him to a, what did I say, 36-ish? 36-ish. So 25, another 10 off those. That should get Kubica to the rainy period. I think that we're looking at 4 stops for the other teams. So we'll hopefully pick up time there, just doing 2. In terms of Fernando, there's a chance Fernando can get a set of these for 30. He won't. Forget that, he won't. So we're going to go for a set of mediums for Fernando, and then probably onto a set of softs to get us into that rainy period. That's largely what we're looking at. Obviously, if we need to push on the tyres to keep them warm, we can do that. Strategy is just going to be a straight yellow for the time being. And this is the grid. Seb and Lewis on the front row fighting for the World Championship with .034 between them, which is terribly tight. Charles and Valtteri Bottas are on 3rd and 4th. Let's see if I can grab that. There we go. Max and Graham Rahal are on 5th and 6th. Gasly and Raikkonen 7th and 8th. Giovinazzi and Hulkenberg 9th and 10th. Alonso starts 11th with Grosjean next to him in 12th, which is good for our battle with Haas. Is there a Haas ahead of us? I wasn't paying enough attention. There are no Haases ahead of us. That's good. At least in this row. Ricciardo and Sainz start 13th and 14th. Then it's Albon and Perez, Norris and Kvyat, and then Stroll and Kubica are starting there. I feel like I missed a Haas somewhere, because that's kind of our key battle. As much as it'd be nice to pass the Red Bulls, who are both behind us, which is, it's because Verstappen's joined Haas and yeah, I know what's going on. So okay, we're not quite leading the battle off the grid, but that should be absolutely fine. We'll take those off of auto as we usually do, and we're going to hope that this actually works out for us, because I think, and it is just a hunch, I think we're going to get 2 less stops than the other teams do. So, you know, we're playing the long game. We're going to take the hit with the with using the slightly weaker tyres for the conditions. I mean, the weather isn't actually too bad. It's sort of 17, 17. There we go. It's not too bad. These tyres shouldn't cool off too quickly. We'll give Alonso the big old push. We'll give Kubica a little bit late, but actually that's probably going to help him. And we're going to start blasting through the positions, which is good. What's everyone doing on the strategy? There's a lot of people conserving tyres, trying to make it all the way to the rainy period, which might be strong. It might be strong, but we'll have to see. It's going to cut at least 1 pit stop ahead of us. But I feel actually fairly confident in this strategy. Like I said, if it's saving us 2 pit stops, which I think it will do, then we're looking at 40 seconds gained. As long as we can keep the leaders in touching distance, I think we're going to stay within 40 seconds quite easily. Kubica's tyres are underheated. Maybe we can give him a little bit of a push. He might have to go into a second set of mediums. Do the same with Alonso too. Yeah, they might need a second set of mediums later on, but we'll just get these temps back up, and then we'll go back to neutral and let them drop again, because you know, the more laps we can get out of the tyres, the better. We've got to try and get ourselves as close to that crossover rainy period as we possibly can. So we're blasting through on 12 speed, because I want to try and keep the episode short. We're going to give Alonso the big old push down the home straight. That's taking him up into 8th. That's good passing moves right there. Can we get Kubica up any places by doing the push? I suspect not, but we've got him a little bit close to Giovinazzi, which is okay. He might be able to make something happen. Alonso back into 9th, which is not okay. But, you know, another big push. We'll get him back up there towards 8th again, which will work, although, you know, there is a battle behind with Grosjean having the ERS as well. We should pass Verstappen in the first stage of pit stops as well, which we need to kind of keep an eye on, trying to keep him behind us once he comes in, which is going to be a bit of a challenge, because he will be quicker than us, I think. I think it's going to be one of those races where we do actually lose some ground to Haas. Without the changeable weather to help us out, it is very, very possible that we will not get quite so much benefit. There's a lot of people using the hybrid mode at the moment. Can we get Kubica past anyone using that last few percent? We probably can't. We'll keep an eye on Alonso too, because Alonso can probably get ahead of Hulk if I need to give him a push. We're going to drop those tyres back down, because they are heating up massively, and that's going to make things much harder for us to get in for a pit stop. Let's give the push again, just to make that gap open up. I'm going to drop Kubica down to neutral as well, because the longer I can keep his tyres going, the better, because we know he does not look after his tyres very well. I said lap 36, and we've got 23 to go, which is going to make it very, very close. It's going to be very close on tyres, but we will see how that comes in. Alonso has picked up into 5th. There's going to be a couple more pit stops ahead of him. Everyone ahead is within a pit stop, I think. So that could help. We're going to take Vettel here. We've taken Vettel. Rahal and Hamilton, you'd think, have to come in on the next go round. Grosjean probably has to come in as well on the next lap. Looks like Rahal is coming in. Hamilton's in. If we can take Hamilton here, we'll be looking fine and dandy. But we haven't. It means it's about a 16-second stop, which is... It's touch and go. It's touch and go. We're going to go with a big push there and a big push there. And see what we can do to make things go a little bit quicker for us, because we've got to we've got to be very conscious of what we're going to of trying to stay in the top 10. Really, trying to stay in the top 10 is going to be the big challenge for the race. We can let Alonso's tyres go down to about 10%, which is going to be about fine. Kubica's tyres are starting to wear. We'll give him a little bit of a push, because he is going to have to heat those tyres back up. Yeah, Alonso probably another lap or so, and we'll 20% there. Let's see how that goes down on this lap. If it gets down to about 15 by the end of the lap, we should be looking okay. Work out what we're losing per lap, because that's going to figure into our maths very closely. I think, yeah, we'll just about make it. We'll just about make it to that pit stop. So, we're on lap 20. It'll be 21 by the time we come. We've got 17 laps left. That will go 17, but I'd rather not risk it, because I know we're having to push tyres. So we'll go to another set of mediums, because that is rain coming in towards the end for sure. We will fill up the battery. Hopefully we'll get one more lap off of Kubica. I'll probably get 2 more laps off of Kubica before he has to come in, which is going fine. Let's just have a look at Kubica's tyre wear so we can get a scope on him. So he's at 22 per lap now. We're going to give the attack order to Alonso. Actually, it's probably not smart. That's probably not smart. Let's not do that. Yeah, just 22 is where we're at with the tyres there. So we just need to see what kind of mileage we're getting off of Robert Kubica in terms of tyre wear. Because if he can go another couple of laps, we could be looking at good things. Get back to Bobby Kubica, thank you. So what, 4% per lap? Oh, we've had a jack error. It's cost us a second, which is not ideal at all. We are currently coming back onto the track. We should be back up to full racing speed now. Let's give him the push. Okay, so we're 4% per lap, and like I said, we can probably take them more or less to flat if we need to. So we're going to give Kubica another couple of laps. Just another couple of laps, and we'll see where he comes through. Because, like I say, if we've got an idea of what the tyre wear looks like, I think if we bring him in this lap, I think that should see us through fine. That's what I say again. Lap 36-ish for the rain. 36-ish for the rain to start. That's 13 laps. Can he go 13? He might just get 13 laps out of that. It'll be tight. It'll be very tight. But faith. Have the faith. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep the faith in our boy Robert Kubica to get the job done. Because he's keeping Vettel behind him for now, which is good. As long as he doesn't release Vettel before we get into the pits. He hasn't. There we go. And yeah, that as long as we get no mistakes here, no mistakes. Good boy. It's out into 10th, which is where Alonso came out. So actually they're riding pretty much together. And this should be what sees us get places, I think. I think this will get us places. In fact, we might actually have had Kubica may long term have undercut Alonso there, which could be very interesting. We'll ride on board with Kubica because Alonso. In fact, we'll ride on with Alonso because Alonso's just taken a place and he's not far behind Max Verstappen, which, you know, again, interesting prospect because Max is probably going to have to come in for another stop. Let's see what Max is running tyre-wise. Max is currently running the same tyres as us, which, you know, how you'd think he's got to come in before us. You'd think he's got to make at least one stop that we don't have to make, which is going to help us take him. We're ahead of Grosjean, who also will have to make another stop. I think Graham Rahal is too far ahead of us for that to be a factor. But you never know. You never know with these things. Can we push a bit more? Do you know what? We probably can, Fernando. You're probably making a good shout there. Let's give that a push. Because it is a little bit cool to keep these tyres. Weirdly, it's going to get warmer as it rains, which will probably help when we switch to the inters. Let's give Alonso the push. Let's give Kubica the push. Let's try and move on because we are going to have to pass some people in the pits. We haven't quite taken Seb, but he's come out right ahead of us, which, you know, Alonso's taken Seb. That's okay. I was looking at Kubica, I think, and then we've got Verstappen coming into the pits. That's Rahal behind us now. Bottas has probably got to come in for the pits as well. Well, low fuel delta, which is exactly roughly where I wanted the low fuel delta to come in. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think we would make it to the 5 laps down, but I figured 4 laps down was probably going to give us a little bit of overspend on fuel. Alonso up into 5th. That's going to work wonders for us. Leclerc probably has to come in again because I can't see him making it to the rainy period. Which, yeah, I think I'm on course for lap 36, which would be good. And then we'll have a couple of laps of big old pushing before we put the boys in for another stop. I think I've made this work. Leclerc has come in for inters very early. He is going to lose a lot of time over those couple of laps. Possibly a place to Hulkenberg as well. It's very possible. We've started seeing rain come down, so I think that's time for us to just cook the tyres. Let's just cook the tyres off. We'll switch to Kubica for now because he is going to be the first man in, I think. We'll see how his tyre wear goes on this lap. I think maybe we're going to have enough. Yeah, we'll have enough to go and get him in on this lap for a set of inters, which should take him to the end. Parts are looking good, battery is looking good, strategy will keep it balanced because I don't want to risk any mistakes, and yeah, I like this, I like the way this is going. And then I think maybe Alonso will come in a couple of laps time, maybe, we'll see how the rain goes, because that is going to be a big factor in this, because obviously if the rain starts hurting us, then we will have to make that change. How damp is it going to get? How soon? Not massively. We should be okay. He's asking for inters. It's probably too early, a little bit too early. We'll drop that down to neutral before Kubica comes in for his stop. In fact, we probably should have burned out the rest of that ERS. I think we might be overcharging here, which won't be okay. That won't be okay. Oh no, it's worked out. We're okay. No mistakes. Good times. A 2.1 pit stop. He's come out in 6th, which is good. In fact, he might come out further up than that because I think a couple of guys ahead of him may have stopped. Alonso, where are we at with tyres? Let's keep that going. Let's give the push now. The push order, please. Thank you. Right. Fernando is a guy we have to keep an eye on with the tyres because we're not quite there with the dampness yet. 17, 16. We'll bring him in now, I think, because yeah, by the end of this lap we'll be in trouble. Park condition is good, battery will be good because we'll have burned that, and yeah, let's just get that done. Now. Push. Alonso is up into 2nd as well. I've just spotted that. with an 11-ish second gap over Ricciardo. We're just at that crossover point now where things start getting a little bit closer. We'll put Alonso onto the neutral tyres, and this should be seeing us through to the end of the race. Well, it's actually quite possible that we could push him with the tyres a little bit harder than we've pushed Robert, because he does actually have the ability to get that little bit further on them. So let's do that. Let's push him out of the pits into 5th, but we'll go fully RS, try and get that gap to Bottas behind us. There's a small chance Leclerc might be pushing those tyres too hard ahead of us. Just a small chance. In fact, he's coming for another pit stop for a new set of inters because he's realised, I think, that he's not making it to the end. Is Kubica going to take him as well? I think he is, you know. I think he is. He has. Well. We're not going to get the podium today unless someone ahead of us crashes, but it's not inconceivable, not at all inconceivable, that we make this all the way to the end in 4th place. Although we do have Valtteri Bottas coming in very hot behind us. So we'll see how that goes. We've got a blue flag ahead of us. Let's pass him very quickly. Thank you. Hope he can make his car wide. He didn't make it that wide. Let's put those tyres back on neutral because they are burning. They are cooked. We're going to move Kubica up as well onto the slightly more pushy tyres just to get him through. We're still, I mean, Bottas has taken us, but 5th and 6th would still be quite a respectable return. Both our cars are ahead of Haas's. They're both ahead of Red Bull's. We might just make this through to the end and actually make it look good. It's a small possibility, but we might make this look good. We're going to have another push with Alonso just to see what we can do to close that gap ahead to Bottas. Probably not a lot because he is, after all, in a Merc. And we are still the 9th best car on the grid, even if we have overcome Toro Rosso as being officially a threat. But yeah, I think we're going to make this to the end. I think maybe we give a little bit more push to Kubica just to keep those tyre temps up. We'll give him the ERS push as well, see if we can get him up behind us, because that would be nice. It would be nice to cross the line together. But Fernando, 4 laps to go, and he is looking like he's in a very, very strong position. We might get. I need to do a math calculator type lap thing with Kubica to work out exactly what his tyre wear is looking like, because these will go down to about 10%, and you know, we're crossing the line on 29%, which is a good start. Let's just go a quick lap round. There's only 3 laps to go. I'm not massively stressed, but I do need to know what that tyre life is, what that tyre is going to be like, because that's looking like 6-7%. So probably won't make it unless we drop back down to neutral, which means he might lose a place to Rahal. But that should be okay. I think Alonso is pretty much unassailable in 5th. He's not going to lose a place. He's not going to gain a place. There's no point pushing him too hard. We've got complaints about tyres from Kubica. In fact, they're both in good fuel too. So how about we just give the fuel a good burn and use that to make up any deficit we might lose from the tyres. There we go. That was good thinking. Because we're on the last lap now. I'm assuming we're on the last lap. We are on the last lap. And that's going to be a 5th, 6th finish. We've got Alonso crossing the line now. Perfect. And we have got Kubica crossing the line there. And he should take it from Leclerc. He has done that. 5th and 6th is a really, really good result for us for this race. Really good, considering most of the parts that were considered crucial are our worst parts. That's a pretty actually solid finish. We've taken points again from both Haas and from Red Bull, and you know, it might even push us up to just behind Red Bull in the constructors standings. We might have 3rd to play for here. I think Haas might be a distant memory as a rivalry, but I think we might find that we have done enough to close the gap to Red Bull significantly. I think it could be down to about 5 or 6 points with quick math from the top of my head, which we would like to see. Let's make sure we get rid of that, as always. Be interesting to see how the stops worked out. Did they work out as I thought they might? Because if they did, then we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good if they worked out the way I thought they would. It'd be nice to know if I made the right prediction, because we made 2 stops. I thought we'd go 1. We made 2 stops, and I think they made 3 or 4. Some of them. So, when it finally lets us get through the autosave, come on, autosave. We don't need that. We just need to see what the final scores on the doors look like. So we did 2 stops. A lot of the cars around us did 3. It was only Danny Ricciardo who also did 2, so that's actually pretty good. It's the few pit stops that have helped us. Lance Stroll making 4 stops, which is just brutal. Charles Leclerc making 3 stops because he couldn't make the inters work for him. But that's worked out okay. Let's see if we get any penalties that will help us. Obviously, we haven't broken any rules. We've been very careful not to break any rules. But did anyone around us break any rules? It doesn't look like anyone broke any rules at all. So we've taken 18 points. Red Bull have taken 4, so that's 14 gained. We're 20 something behind. So yeah, about 8 points. About 8 points, and Haas will be miles behind us now, which is good. So let's look at the Drivers' Championship. Alonso stays in 7th. Kubica moves his way up to 9th, which is a very good return for him. Alonso, if he keeps this run of form up, could find himself up into 4th or 5th in the essentially best of the rest in the drivers, which is quite impressive. We are 8 points behind Aston Martin Red Bull. We are 11 points ahead of Renault. Haas is a distant memory. 5th is the lowest we can finish now, I would think, with 5 rounds to go. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Okay, so let's while it does the loady screen, it tells us if we've made any gains, which we know we have, so it's not really worth looking at. I think we're going to wrap things up. So thanks for watching, guys. If you could hit the like and subscribe button so people know that you liked and subscribed to the channel, and make me feel a little bit good, that would be amazing. Leave a comment down below. Tell me how you think we're doing. Any advice, any tips, anything we want to drop in comment wise. Always good for comments. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the ball game, because it doesn't look like this loading screen is going to end anytime soon. Oh, it is. It is. Okay, let's have a quick look and then we'll wrap it up, just to see how this shakes out, because that will be important. We've made some gains on marketability. Good work. We've made some gains with the unlocks. That's also good. Excellent. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and I've been Chasing Lamely. Until next time, have a good one.